thanks for stopping by. I'd like to preface this video by saying it is not a knitting tutorial, but it means to have something playing in the background while you work on your own knitting project. If you're like me and really enjoy watching videos while you work, sometimes you find that the content you like to watch is very visually engaging and you're several hours in and haven't gotten nearly as far along in your project as you would have liked to. So that's where I come in. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. We are continuing with the Jolie Mimi Cardigan by Wool and the Gang, and if you'd like to watch the whole process from start to finish, this is part of the Jolie Mimi Cardigan playlist that is on my channel. So I would say give it a watch or a listen in this case, so that you have something to keep you kind of on the move while you're working on your own project. So here we are at the beginning. You probably just saw the video before this where I was working on it, and we got maybe 3 or 4 rows done. So we're just gonna keep going, but I like to break them up so they're not super lengthy, but they give you a good, part of your lunch break if you get a full hour, or you just want a little break and listen to something while you're working on your own project. So we'll get right into it. And of course the description box does have a link, so if you're interested in working on this one. Whoa, wait a minute. What am I doing? Oh, I had it going through the wrong leg. I feel like that's happened to me already at some point, and I just didn't even know. So I hope everything is going well with you today. It is Friday night. It might still be Friday. What time is it? Oh, 1:45. Wow. That's crazy. I mean, not for me, but in general, it's pretty crazy. I took a long nap today, and now I'm here. And I think I woke up because my partner was clanking around downstairs, which indicates they helped me out and did the dishes. I will tell you, I don't have a dishwasher, and if you've watched any of my previous videos, you probably heard me complain about that because I used to. Most of my apartments I lived in had a dishwasher to some extent. Either it was like a little baby, like a half one, or it was a full size, and I was in heaven. My very first apartment that I had when I moved, my home growing up as a child, my parents had a dishwasher, and then when I moved away for college, the apartment I shared with some of my fellow class members also had a dishwasher. And then when I moved out with my partner, my first kind of solo place, even though I was still in college, also had a dishwasher. The place after that did not. The place after that did. And the place after that did. And the place after that did. So it's been a long time since I haven't had one. And I thought I would be fine with it. I was just like, whatever, it's cool. No, it's not cool. After being spoiled and then having that taken away, you're just like, dang. Now, like, every single meal has a whole sink full of dishes. And if you're like me and you're tired after standing up and cooking all that food, the last thing you want to do is stand up some more and wash your dishes. And I have done things where I've washed as I've gone through, but at the end I still have a pan and some plates and some silverware and some serveware that are dirty after the meal. And I'm like, oh, I just did this, why? So I'm not the most motivated to wash the dishes, though I do love the empty sink, but it doesn't last for long because my partner will often snack during the day and then just put more dishes in the sink and not wash them as they go. And I'm like, hey, You saw me washing these dishes. Why are you putting more dishes in here? So it's been a couple days, and we had a sink full. Well, no. Last night I cooked dinner. I made like fake hamburgers. It was like refried beans and like a meatless meat. It was like ground meat, but it wasn't meat. And what else? Oh, asparagus. So I made the refried bean and meat substitute patties and dunk them in breadcrumbs and fry them in the pan, and then put real cheese on top and put them in the oven to melt, and we just topped them with like ketchup, mustard. I put pickles on mine because I like pickles, and it was just like a bun, or like a patty but no bun because we don't have any bread. We have sandwich bread, but we don't have buns. And I was just like, what's in here? What can I eat? What can I use up? And the other packet of meat we had, or fake meat, I guess. Meat substitute? I don't even know what you call it. It's not ground beef, but it tastes just as fine. And so, yeah, we had that. And so I had like a whole big old pan in the sink, and the tray I left the tray on the stove because I had parchment on it, but the tray that was used in the oven to melt the cheese, and the mixing bowl for the patty, and then we had the bowl for the breadcrumb mixture. So that was another thing. So yeah, that was all in the sink. And then all the plates from dinner. And today, since I was napping, I took a really long nap. I hadn't washed the dishes yet. And yesterday, because I was tired from the cooking, I didn't wash the dishes when I was done. But my partner washed some dishes. It sounds like they washed a lot because it was clinking around for a long time down there. So I haven't gone downstairs since I woke up. I just got up and came in here to film because I realized it was so late, and I was planning on filming earlier, but that nap was like, whew. So hopefully when I go downstairs, I'll see what the progress looks like. But I know I'm very appreciative that my partner will help sometimes. Usually it's because they're just like, there's so many dishes in here, I can't put any new ones in the sink, so I'll just wash some to make some room. But sometimes they don't always wash them, and they're not like still greasy, so I end up washing them again anyway, because like I do what I call the touch test, where after I wash every dish and I've rinsed it off, I just like wipe my hand over it, and if I still feel like slimy, like slick, then I know that there's still like some particles on it, some residue. So I had to wash it again. And my partner doesn't like to wash with like super, super hot water, but I do because I feel like it helps like break everything down. So I think that's probably part of it. Because if it's like melting the oils and the little bits and stuff, then that makes the washing process go faster, I think. But that's just me. But yeah, usually I'll, sometimes even I'll wait, because if they notice that it's greasy, then maybe they realize that they aren't washing it very well. So it's like, it's hard. What do you think? It's like, yay for them trying, or boo because they're not doing it well enough that this dish is actually clean before I can even put it away. It's in the drying rack and it's all gross and I have to wash it again. Sometimes it's weird because it's like there is still stuff, like you could actually see it on it, and I'm like, how do you not see that there's still like stuff on this dish, and you just put it in the drying rack? So then I have to wash it again. It's weird. So I'm a little bit scared, honestly. I'm hoping it's okay, but I'm a little scared that I still have to wash them all again. But yes, all the more reason why I really miss having a dishwasher that's not a human, but a machine. And you can buy like counter ones, but my goal is to not be here forever because one, I can't stay here forever, and then two, what am I going to do with a counter dishwasher to try to like sell it when we move? It'll be tricky because I don't know. I just don't know if they're very popular appliances that people are looking for. And we really need the counter space too, so there wouldn't really be a place to put it feasibly because we have no counter space already. But one day I will live in a home with a dishwasher because if you were watching my previous video, you know that I've been looking at places to buy one day, hopefully soon. I mean, soon, when I say soon, I mean like within the next year, which is pretty soon because by then, I think most of my student loans will already be in that 10-year repayment forgiveness in the US if you work for like a nonprofit that qualifies for the loan forgiveness program. At this point in time, you can get your loans forgiven if you've made 120 payments or 10 years. Well, 10 years equates to 120 payments on your loans. If they have been if they're the right loan and if they have been put on the right payment plan, then they could be forgiven. And I have been out of school since 2010, and here it is 2020, late 2020, well, mid 2020. So mid 2020, essentially, and I have been making payments on my loans since I've been out of school. However, I had 3 years that were deferred while I was in grad school, and those went back into payment. So I don't have too much longer to pay because I've been paying on some of them. So it's like, depends on which one, because some can be forgiven, some cannot. But at least at this point. And yeah, it's just like weird. But soon, not even so much that's forgiven, that is what it's, bleh. What am I saying? It's not even that if they get forgiven that I would qualify for a home loan, but the more I work, the more I earn, so the lower my debt to income ratio becomes, and that is also very helpful. So as soon as I'm done with all of the payments, then I definitely can contribute more to paying my mortgage down when I get a home loan. But, you know, it's still kind of wishful thinking because it depends on the market, you know. Market's gonna be pretty crazy here when everything when all the dust settles. But right now I'm definitely preparing to go that route as soon as I can. And it will still take some time, but I am preparing by looking around and getting a feel for what I like, where I want to be, kind of areas, what they look like, and just keeping tabs on stuff that I see pop up. Because sometimes things that I flagged, like even when I first, like back in 2015, so about 5 years ago, I was looking for a home then. I was really lucky. I had like a nice sum of money come in from my tax return, and I'm like, I can use this for my down payment. And so I put it away and started getting ready to look for a place and apply for a loan. And when I put in all my stuff to get pre-approved, the lender said that my debt to income ratio was too high. And that was when I was working in my job before I got out of grad school, so it wasn't paying as much as the one I have now. And because I had my loans still that were being paid off, that contributed to that. So my debts were higher as far as like all of the loans I had, student loans. So credit still good, but long-term loans were higher than what I was making. So they're like, even though I was like fine paying my rent, my rent was higher than the mortgages that I was looking at. So it's like, but that's how it is. Banks want to be secure, and they don't want to put anybody in a bad situation where they wouldn't be able to pay. And I totally get that. But I feel like my history alone would be like, look at how good I am at paying stuff. Like, sure, I owe all kinds of like money to the places that I got my degrees from, but I'm making those payments and they're on time, and I haven't had any issues with that. Like, even though I don't make a lot, like, I'm still paying what I need to pay. So but that was then. So 5 years later, I'm like, well, now that I've paid a lot of my loans down and I make more money and I'm getting on track to this loan forgiveness path, I think I can start, trying again to become a homeowner. And part of that is making sure that where I live has a dishwasher and a big kitchen. I love good counter space, good cabinet space, because like, what's the point of having good counter space if you have no cabinets? You're basically going to be putting your stuff on your counter and leaving stuff out because you have nowhere to put it, and I'm not about that anymore. So I'm like, big kitchen, counter space. I want to be able to roll out my dough for my gosh darn cinnamon rolls and my scones and my cookies and everything else I like to make that requires like a large work surface that I can't really do so easily now. And by the way, I did get that Instacart order that I was talking about. And now that I have so much stuff in my freezer, I can't make, I think I can still do the mirror cake, but I can't do scones. And my supervisor gave me a recipe for scones. But her recipe says that I have to put them in the freezer for a little bit. And I don't even have like a flat area to slide them into. And I'm like, I wonder if I just put them in the fridge, if that'll work too. Because I could do that. But I don't know. And I have like all the stuff to make both things. I have everything for the mirror cake. I have everything for the scones that she told me about. But I think tomorrow, it'll be Saturday, I think I'll just do the coffee cake first and see how that goes. Like one of the coffee cakes. I got 2 recipes from her, so we'll see how that goes. Oh man, what's going on? Oh, I have 1 cell on my battery, guys, so we'll see. I'm calling it now. I might not make it to the end, but I'm hoping I do. If I don't, I'll just say goodbye now, but maybe we'll be lucky. I don't know. I could stop it, but I'd rather just have one clean next video, because splicing isn't hard, but it does take time because you have to make sure that you get it to start and end in the right spot, and then merge the 2 little frame segments together so that you have just a continuation without any gaps of dead air. Hey! Oh, Kabu's sticking her paw under the door. She does that sometimes. Sometimes Koji does it too, but mostly Kabu. She's very attached to me, but it's weird because it's like, she doesn't want to admit that she's obsessed with me, but at the same time, she is like my shadow, and she'll follow me around. If I go to the kitchen, then she'll sit right outside the door, and then if I go upstairs, she'll come upstairs, and if I go to my bedroom, she'll come upstairs to lay on me or to be in the bedroom. Then if I come downstairs, except for sometimes in the morning, if I wake up and I come downstairs, if she's already in the bedroom, she's like, forget it, and she'll just stay up here for hours and hours and hours. But if she's like feeling super, super clingy, she will be on me like white on rice. And here she is hovering by the door because she wants to be around me again. And I love it. I'm very glad that my cats actually enjoy my company. But at the same time, sometimes it's like, what? Like, I already gave you pets, and then they're meowing, and it's like, you have food, you have water, your litter box is clean, I've played with you, you have some treats, and then they're still, like, making these weird noises at me, and I'm like, what? What else do you want? Sometimes I wish they could just tell me. Because you've met all their needs. Alright. We are done. She just keeps batting under there, like, girl. Alright, so not so much, but like I said, watch pot never boils, and we have made some progress. So there is that. And thank you so much for sticking around with me, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.